All right, let's take a look at the next few hours. Beautiful evening on tap. Lots of summery weather happening. But boy, by later tonight, you see those little rumblers expected to come into the forecast picture. We are already seeing some thunderstorms in southern Michigan. There's a cold front sitting just north of us, and that cold front is slowly going to drop into northeast Ohio as we head through the rest of the evening. Look at the line that has popped here during the heat of the day. Big difference in, this type of a situation versus something more like spring is the humidity. We don't have a ton of humidity for these thunderstorms to work with. Now, the lake is going to add its 2 cents to all of this, so we're not totally counting things out. But this little line is accompanied by, that cold front. So there is a different air mass in northern portions of Michigan. And you can see the clouds that are coming out ahead of these storms. So that's why we are starting to see some of the high, thin clouds, those debris clouds that are coming over us. But I mentioned the humidity. We only have 46% relative humidity. Remember, thunderstorms need 3 things. They need heat, they need humidity, and they need the trigger. So we have the heat and we have the trigger. We have, of course, the very warm temperatures, which if I hit the button, I can show you. We're at 84 degrees right now. We have the trigger because the cold front, but we don't have a lot of humidity for these storms to work with. So as the rest of the evening goes on, we just kind of wait and watch and see what we get. We are not anticipating severe weather out of this, but we can't rule out a chance for rumbles of thunder tonight as that cold front is dropping into the area. Significantly cooler air is sitting just north of us in Canada, and you can see the much warmer air that is off to the south. Very easy to pick out exactly where our jet stream pattern is set up right now. And that jet stream is the dividing line between the cooler air to the north, the warmer air to the south. So the big question is, how is this going to be moving? Well, it's not. That's been the problem, especially for the folks in the southwestern part of the country where they are locked in the heat. And what ends up happening is it becomes kind of a regenerative effect. We've got this heat dome that is set up, it is established, and it begins to command the weather around it. So you get this ridge, this bubble of heat in the western part of the country. And the eastern part of the country has this weakness sitting over the northeastern portion of North America. That upper level low is sitting here. It is not moving. As a matter of fact, if it's doing anything, it is coming back around to kind of compensate and offset the heat dome that is sitting off to the south. So as this area of low pressure in the upper parts of the atmosphere it gets a little bit closer to us, we end up getting all these waves of energy coming off of it. Sometimes it's a front, sometimes it's just enough of a wave of energy to kick up some thunderstorms, but we'll continue to have waves of rain and thunderstorms in the forecast from here on out. And as the jet stream is just kind of parked over us, we're anticipating the humidity levels to come up, and so that should then allow the thunderstorms to live on. So it's a pretty complicated forecast when you're trying to figure out not only factors for thunderstorms that are happening tonight, but then when you start to look down the pike and we see very kind of linear temperatures, we don't have a huge temperature swing coming our way in the next 7 days, and we get just enough of an elevation in the humidity levels that we start to play with those rain chances. So your National Designer hour-by-hour forecast starts as dry tomorrow, but we can't rule out scattered showers and thunderstorms, much like what Michigan has ongoing today. We are going to have another one of those waves of energy sitting over us with that cold front still hanging out in the area, and it does look like we have a better likelihood of rain and thunderstorms later in the day tomorrow than early. So get out and get your stuff done in the morning. Union Home Mortgage forecast then sees the temperatures going up and kind of holding in the low and mid 80s for the foreseeable future. And as the humidity comes up, so do our chances for those scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast too, and that includes the weekend.